How's it going, everybody? Blaine here for Bridge4 Games. Two brand new event raids have been added to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, giving us 4- and 5-star raids for Salamence and Tyranitar. Now, if you are unprepared, these raids can be a little bit challenging, but don't worry. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can go ahead and solo both of these raids, take down the Pokemon all by yourself, so you can add as many of these awesome pseudo-legendaries as you want to your collection. Now, we have a ton we got to talk about, so let's get started. Alright, now as I mentioned, there are two different raids going on right now. We have the Salamence raid and the Tyranitar raid. What's interesting though is that they are going to be exclusive raids. Now, that being said, if you have Pokemon Scarlet, you're going to be seeing these Tyranitar raids all over the place, and if you have Pokemon Violet, you're going to be seeing Salamence raids all over the place. Now, in order to actually activate those 5-star raids in your game, you are going to have to be in the post-game, you're going to have to see in the credits, all that kind of stuff. You can access the 4-star raids earlier, but you are going to need some pretty powerful Pokemon to actually take these down, so I do recommend just kind of getting to the post-game, then going ahead and challenging these pseudos. Now, what's interesting here is that for their Terra type, we're going to have some that have fixed typing, and some that are a bit more random. So now, in Pokemon Scarlet with your Tyranitar, for your 5-star raids, there's going to be one that's always going to be a ghost type. So if you're looking at your map and you're seeing a lot of those sparkling raids that are the ghost type, it's a very likely chance that's going to be your Tyranitar. But in addition to that, if you're seeing those sparkling icons and it's like water, dragon, ice, electric, anything else, that's going to be one of the 5-star or 4-star raids for that, event, but it's not going to be that ghost typing. Now, very much like that over in Violet, it's going to be quite similar. If you're looking at your map and you're seeing a sort of glittering steel type raid, that's most likely going to be your Salamence. And then obviously, if it is just another type, but it is still glittering, it's going to be either a random 5-star Salamence or a random 4-star Salamence. Now, obviously the moves they do have vary between 4- and 5-star raids. And as you can see, it's things like Dragon Claw, Hurricane, Earthquake. So the question we are really facing is, how can you solo these things if you don't know what type they're going to be? And the best answer we really came up with was just kind of creating Pokemon that are all around good at handling raids, but also are going to be able to consistently take down the two fixed ones. So the Pokemon we're going to show you to be able to take these down very easily are going to be able to handle the Ghost type Tyranitar and the Steel type Salamence very, very easily. And if you do happen to encounter some other different typings, they're probably going to be fine at handling those too. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we recommend to actually use here. Now, if you've been following Pokemon and kind of some of the choices for raids in the past, some of these Pokemon are not going to look that unfamiliar to you. Now, in Pokemon Scarlet, you are going to be facing down that Ghost type Tyranitar. So what I highly recommend you doing, go ahead and go get a Flutter Mane from your game, and you're going to be able to take it down very easily. Now, here, just some sample moves that I gave it are Shadow Ball, Moonblast, and Mystical Fire. That's going to make you very well positioned to handle a lot of different things just because you have those dual stabs. You're also going to be able to do a ton of damage to that Ghost-type Tyranitar, and you have Calm Mind to make your damage just that much higher. Now, in addition, if you do go online and run into any of the Steel-type Salamence raids, you are going to be able to do a lot of damage to it with that Mystical Fire, which is also really awesome. Now, if you do find yourself in Pokemon Scarlet looking to take on those Steel-type Salamences, I highly recommend you go ahead and grab an Iron Hands. As you can see here, we are using a Belly Drum set, so if you are able to get a Belly Drum up and use a Drain Punch, you're going to do a lot of damage to it and recover a lot of damage as well, so you're going to be able to actually not get KO'd that easily, and you're going to be staying around a long time and dealing a lot of damage, which is really all you need to do. Now, if you do run into that Tyranitar, you're going to want to use Belly Drum and Thunder Punch, but if you are going into somebody else's game, you're not going to be soloing it anyways, so you really don't need to worry about doing all the damage yourself because you are going to be doing it with other people. That being said, one other mon I generally think is pretty good is Chi-Yu. Now, the set I gave here is just Nasty Plot with Overheat, Flamethrower, and Dark Pulse. It's really, really solid just because being able to Nasty Plot gives you 2 boosts, and because you're reducing their special defense, you're going to do all the more damage to them, making it just that much better. I give it a Life Orb here just to kind of do more damage. It can really be whatever you want. It could be Charcoal or something like that as well. But I want to go ahead and hop into some of these raids and show you how these guys actually perform. Alright, now as you can see on my map here, we have this raid here that is going to be a Steel type, and because I'm playing in Pokemon Violet, that means it's going to be Salamence. And as you can see, it's kind of glittery, kind of sparkly. That's how you know it's one of these special event ones. Now, in addition though, if you do actually want to go ahead, just go online. Just because you have Pokemon Violet or Pokemon Scarlet and not the other one, doesn't mean you're stuck. I'm just going to hop into Terra raid battles real quick. There we go. And as you can see, I have 3 raids ahead of me right here for that Tyranitar. So if you want to go ahead and get both of these mons, again, you're going to be able to do that no problem. But as I did mention, I am going to show you how to solo all these Pokemon, so you want to make sure you're able to do it in your own game. But if you do want to hop into the other games just to get the Pokemon, that is something that's available to you as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop down a save just as a precaution here, just in case. And let's go ahead and challenge this 5-star Salamence all by ourselves. There we go, and challenge alone, and we're going to have some lovely NPCs helping us out, which is great. Now that being said, Belly Drum plus Drain Punch is a very, very powerful combination, and we also have Close Combat on here just in case you need to do a little more damage in a pinch. These Pokemon are all very easy to find once you get into Area 0, so it shouldn't be any real issue to get a couple of these, get them all ready to go, and you're going to be all set. I'm going to go ahead and Belly Drum. And as you guys are going to be able to see, it's not going to do that much damage, and we did get Dragon Clawed, which is fine. We used our Belly Drum, so now we have a +6 attack, which is fantastic. And I do have a Berry on here, so I'm going to recover a little bit of HP. But again, even with how bulky I am, even if we take an Earthquake because it's not Stab, we should be fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit it with a Drain Punch so I can recover my HP so it can't knock me out. And Hurricane, it missed, which is cool. I think we were fine anyways, it was neutral, but yeah, as you can see, we did a pretty good chunk there. And our HP is now back to full, and we are in a pretty good spot going forward. And now put up a shield. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. We need to do as much damage as possible now, so I'm going to go ahead and start using Close Combat here just to do a little more damage to it. Hurricane's coming out now as well. That knocks us down to about half, and with Close Combat, we have now broken the shield. So we really just have to get one more attack on there, and we should be good to clear this thing out. And there we go, we used our Drain Punch and KO'd it. So that Salamence is down. Alright, and Salamence has been caught. I already got several of them, so it's not going to give me any, fancy thing there or anything, but that's okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and hop over to a Tyranitar raid we did earlier, just to show you guys how powerful that Flutter Mane is there. Alright, now as you guys can see, much in the same way we use setup with the Iron Hands, we are going to be wanting to get 2 or so Calm Minds off here with our Flutter Mane. Now, even though not all of its attacks are going to be special, it is going to have some physical attacks. They're not going to do that much because we are level 100, and we are going to be all set, making sure that we do have that boost to our special defense as well, meaning, again, we're going to have a lot of longevity in this battle. And again, much like Iron Hands, just use whatever move is super effective. In this case, against the Ghost Tyranitar, it is going to be your Shadow Ball, and just keep using it over and over again, and you will get that thing knocked out very quickly. Now again, it is going to be able to actually clear your stats out like all the raid Pokemon can. If that happens, just keep chipping away at it with either a Shadow Ball, or use Calm Mind again to get your stats back up, and you're going to be all set sooner or later. And now one other thing I want to show you is just how Chi-Yu kind of works in these battles as well. Again, it is a much different Pokemon and kind of a different approach to what we've been using, but when you do use that Nasty Plot in combination with its Beads of Ruin, which reduces the opponent's special defense, it can do a lot of damage really quickly. And because it has that Dark Stab and Fire Stab, it's going to be able to do a lot to pretty much any Pokemon, in addition to those fixed Ghost and Steel types we have here. Alright, so again, in this battle, all you want to do is go ahead and start Nasty Plotting. I may go for 2 here, just to get our attack stat just that much higher. We're a fairly frail Pokemon, like you can see us taking a bit from Earthquake here, but we have enough to withstand a few hits from, Salamence, which is pretty much all we really need because we're going to be able to do a lot of damage to it. Because I'm worried I'm actually going to get knocked out, I'm going to go ahead and overheat it instead of using a flamethrower, just because I want to do as much damage as I can. And hopefully we can actually get our attack off here. We did. And as you can see, we just straight up took out Salamence. Well, there we go. It's that easy. That just really shows you the potential of Chi-Yu and how busted of a Pokemon it is. So I highly recommend you go ahead and try that one as well, because it really is worth catching, and it's a really awesome addition to any team, and it's just a real powerhouse. And as you guys can see, we went ahead and took Chi-Yu into a Tyranitar raid as well. Again, it's pretty much just the same strategy. Just use that Nasty Plot and then use your Shadow Ball, and you're going to be able to chip away at the Pokemon and really just get it down pretty quickly, especially if you're able to get off 2 Nasty Plots instead of just 1. And one last thing real quick, if you happen to look at your map and don't see that you have any more of your special raids going on, that's no big deal. It just means that you ran out for the day, but we can fix that. Go ahead and save your game. Just go ahead, and then all you want to do, go ahead and just close your game, as I'm doing right here. And then just go ahead and go to the bottom and open up your date and time settings, and then go 1 day into the future. Now, effectively, this is very similar to how kind of day skipping worked before, but really all you want to do, just go ahead 1 day. You don't want to do anything crazy here. And then just go ahead and go back in the game. Yes, my dates are all messed up in the game too, if you happen to notice that, but that being said, go right back in. And as we're going to see in just a second, the raids are not necessarily going to be in the same spot, but you are going to have a new batch of raids ready to go. Oh yeah, and here we are back in our game. And let's just go ahead and open up our map real quick. And if we just take a really quick look around, I see a sparkling raid there, and another sparkling one there, and there. So I do know those are both going to be Salamences because they are steel. And really, yeah, that's just that simple. Whenever you go ahead and run out of your event mons, you can either go online and get some more, or just go ahead, go back in the games, and you're going to be able to get them that way by resetting and then just jumping one day ahead. So guys, there you have it. That's how you can go ahead and solo the brand new 4 and 5 star Tyranitar and Salamence raids in your Pokemon Scarlet and Violet games. And guys, I hope you're able to use this method to farm as many of these Pokemon as you want, and of course get a lot of those awesome items as well. Now most of these are not going to be having the Herba Mystica. However, they are going to have really awesome experience items, which are going to help you out a ton, and they'll have cool things like mints as well. So that being said, I hope you did find this video helpful and you're able to use it to get a ton of these awesome Pokemon. And if you did, please make sure that you absolutely get impact that like button in the face, and of course consider subscribing because it really does help us out, and you'll make sure you never miss any of our awesome videos just like this one. That being said, everybody, I've been Blaine for Bridgeport Games. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me. I hope you guys are having an absolute awesome time in your Scarlet and Violet games, and I hope you have a lot of fun with this raid as well. And as always, please remember that the best Pokemon games are the ones that you love to play, and the best ways to play them are however you have the most fun. I hope each and every one of you have a happy, epic, awesome, and amazing day, and I will see you in the next video. See you around. Bye-bye.